Everything that keeps the internet private is in danger. And yes, it's as scary as it sounds. And yes, you're already affected, whether you realize it or not. What's up, guys? I'm Don.
This is Don, and welcome to Q Day.
Q Day, right? Are you prepared for Q Day? What does your company need to know? What do you need to know as an individual on the internet? We're going to get into it, right? Yeah. Got a little meme for you guys right off the bat.
Quantum computing, quantum engineers, cybersecurity engineers.
It's pretty funny, right? Anyway, so cybersecurity can be summed up in 3 letters. CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability, right? Don, what do you think the internet would be like without encryption?
Hacker's paradise.
Yeah.
Open playground.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sandbox. Anything. Think of a VR room. It's just an open sandbox.
You can do anything you want because nothing
Exactly.
is encrypted. Yeah. And that's what most people would say, right? So let's get into it. C, confidentiality. Like you said, nothing's confidential. Every password, every message, every social security number that you ever send over the internet is free for anyone to look at because encryption isn't a thing. What people don't think about is integrity. If I send you a message, I encrypt it with a digital signature. That way you know I am who I say that I am. If I'm giving you software, it's signed digitally, encrypted signature. That way you know that I am the person that I claim to be trying to give you this software. If you download Windows, if you download anything on the internet. So you wouldn't be able to trust anything. Everything you could be doing is malware, and you wouldn't even know if you're signing documents properly. They could switch it on you after the fact, and they could say that you signed something that you didn't. The internet would be dead. And then availability. If all the passwords to things got leaked, attackers could turn off the entire world. Every power grid, every hospital, it could just be turned off with a click of a button because everything's on the fucking internet now.
You've already been compromised in the future. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, that's the scary part. And we're going to get into that. A little cryptic for you guys, but you're already kind of screwed. Cryptography. Cryptography is just math. Cryptography is just math, right? And if we can make math really, really difficult, it's hard for a computer to do it. And that's kind of the point. So we have symmetric and asymmetric encryption, right? If I write you a note and I encrypt it with a key, but I already gave you a copy of that key, and I were to hand you this note, you could use that same key to decrypt the message. Symmetric encryption. Think AES, Advanced Encryption Standard. However, if we're not physically there next to each other, how do I send you that symmetric key so that you can unlock this message?
We would need an asymmetric.
Asymmetric encryption. And this is where math gets tricky, and I don't think anyone really Yeah. Asymmetric encryption, right? So Don has a private key and a public key.
Right.
I have a private key and a public key. If I'm sending you a message, I can view your public key, encrypt this message in a way where the public key cannot decrypt it, but your private key can. And that's, I think RSA 2048 is currently the standard. That's just what we're using. It gets bigger, but basically it works off of prime factorization. So if I were to tell you, Don, audience, this is a challenge for you guys at home too. Don't be lazy. If I were to tell you to give me 2 numbers that are prime numbers, multiply together equal 15, what's your answer?
Well, we all know what prime numbers are.
Yeah, a prime number is a number that is only divisible by itself and 1. So it has no other factors that could be multiplied together to create that number. The first example would be, technically 2, but we're not counting that.
So right now it'll just be 3 and 5.
Yeah, so 3 and 5 are both prime numbers, and they would give you 15. What about 21?
7 and 3.
Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot. 3 and 5. Gold star for you guys at home if you got that. So 7 times 3 equals 21. That's correct.
So far, I don't know if you guys are realizing this, audience. What's the common denominator here between these answers? What are those? What's the commonality?
Yeah, well, that's just because they're prime numbers. But the next example might be different.
11 and 7.
11 and 7. Both of these numbers are prime numbers. And what about 57?
Now we get into a little tricky territory.
Yep.
Okay, gang. What can get taken out by this number right here? 19.
19 and
3.
damn, 19 and 3. That's good. That's good. That would have took me some time. 221.
Look at this, man, y'all. Always trying to take the shot. Hey, y'all, it's literally 11 and 21. Damn!
And so you get
Damn, I was off so bad.
you get the point, and that's awesome that you got that wrong, because I don't think I could do that either. But it gets harder the bigger the numbers are. Now imagine a 256 digit number, and you have to find the prime factors of that. It gets really difficult, and even computers struggle with this. And that's the basis of encryption, right? Quantum computing, however, poses a risk that it could do it really, really fast. And then that's what we're trying to talk about today and why it's dangerous, right? So without getting into too much detail about quantum, a superposition is when something can be two things at once. So if I have a bit, it's usually a 0 or a 1, and a qubit has the option to be a 0 or a 1, or a 0 and a 1 at the same time. And that gets really it can make things really fast. Entanglement, it doesn't really apply here. I mean, it does, but I'm not going to get into it because I'm not smart enough to. So related to RSA, what we're trying to do here is calculate really, really quickly the prime factors of those numbers. And quantum computing can do that really, really fast with a superposition. The problem is, right now, when you want to get the answer back, the superposition collapses and you end up getting a random number. So it's basically just like a random guess.
So how do we even know that it's getting the right answer to begin with?
That's a great ask.
If it's collapsing before we get it back.
Ask the quantum physicist? I don't know. But that's a great point, actually. But yeah, that's the dilemma.
It seems like they're working a little backwards.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, wouldn't you want to fix the issue of it coming back before you keep trying to, like, hey, we got to force to get these right answers? Because you can't verify if it's doing anything correctly if there's no feedback coming from it.
Yeah, so I don't know the answer to that, but that could be something that we look up.
And they could just be saying, in my opinion, audience, they could just be saying that, hey, look, it quote unquote collapses and gives us a random number. The entire time it's just giving you the wrong fucking answers.
So, ignoring that, and you might be right, but ignoring that, we're going to pretend these really smart dudes know what the fuck they're talking about, and just glance over that for the sake of this podcast.
Our audience, maybe they're just getting paid a fuck ton to pretend like they know what they're talking about.
Maybe that'd be a cool job. sounds like the government to me. But basically, yeah, this could break our encryption should a computer find out how to get that right answer a little bit faster. And so here's where we get to this sexy motherfucker right here, Shor, and his algorithm can factor large prime numbers really, 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 really quick. And that's something we just talked about.
No. Now, can you explain to us why it requires more than what's available? Why are we limited at what's available?
Right. So, for reference, a normal computer to break something like RSA 2048 would probably take about 20 billion years.
But what we currently have available, the best of what we currently have available.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's talking a supercomputer.
Okay.
So, because all encryption is just math, a computer is going to be able to do math eventually. It just takes a lot to do it. Because what a computer has to do is the same thing as a human. It has to go, okay, is it this number and this number? No. Okay, let me try to guess again. Is it this number and this number? This guy found a way to make better guesses faster. And it requires more qubits because currently the amount of qubits are really, really finicky. They have to be kept at a sub-zero temperature in a vacuum, and if any sunlight hits it or anything jolts it or shakes it a little bit, it could fuck up the entire thing. And these things are on for days or weeks at a time, and if something bumps it, it could mess up. There's a lot of errors when it comes to quantum computing because it's so volatile and what did Einstein call it? I forget his word he used to call it.
This is funny that you bring this up because I remember Elon Musk actually mentioned very recently, guys, that they were thinking about using the temperatures of space for their computing.
Oh, that's cool. You know, that actually makes sense. But that's really wild. Yeah, so qubits are very finicky. So it's very, very hard to get a large number of qubits into a working quantum computer right now. We are still in the very, very early infancy stages of quantum computing, and most of it was theoretical up until about 2012. We weren't even
2012.
we weren't even able to get a single qubit into a working computer until then, I think. But I have it on the slides later. But that's a great question. And then this other algorithm helps us out. Now, when we're looking to try to get that right answer and the superposition collapses, I have no idea how this works, but apparently there's an algorithm that can take every wrong answer and have them clash against each other to lower the probability that that answer is pulled when the superposition collapses. So, by effect, raising the chance that the correct answer is pulled from the superposition when it collapses. Wild. Don't know enough to talk about it.
Why does this sound? I'm sorry, audience. This should just sound so stupid to me.
It sounds like it's not real.
Why can't they just use the process of elimination? If it's a wrong answer and it knows that, eliminate it completely from like. What are we talking? Like, why is it even still within the realm of possibly being pulled? You know, these are questions I have, audience. We don't have the answers to this.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm wondering. If you're a quantum engineer, I assume you're one of the smartest people that humankind has to offer. So why the hell are we not using something as simple as process of elimination?
Well, we are, and normal computers don't have that problem, but normal computers are very, very slow when it comes to finding these prime factors. So when there's no superposition in a normal computer, so when a normal computer gets the right answer, it's the right answer. There is no need to try to eliminate the wrong answers with probability and clashing. It's just you pull the right answer when it gets it, it dings, and it's done like an oven. But it just takes 20 billion years to do.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's with a really, really advanced computer. And that's our current encryption, right? So
and we're thinking our advancements by 2030.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Ooh, we audience, boy. Boy, it got me scared.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. So this is the chart, right? So this is a year-by-year breakdown of how many qubit hours we need and how many working qubits we have. So in 2012, it was assumed that we would need 1 billion qubits working for 1 hour to break RSA 2048. So if you had 1 qubit, it would take 1 billion hours. That's how that math works. It's pretty simple. And we had 0.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So actually, it wasn't until 2019 where we have something decent. And Google came out with a 53 qubit computer that works, right? And these are extremely error prone, though. I do want to mention that. They do have a lot of errors, and there's a chance that this 160 million hours it would take for a qubit, well, divided by 53, obviously, that it would take to do it could be wrong at the end of the day, right? And so then in 2021, IBM came out with a computer that has 127 qubits. And then in 2022, IBM came out with another computer, 433 working qubits. 2023, Atom Computing came out with a computer that has 1,180 working qubits.
Now, why did the efficiency drop?
Efficiency drop. Say again?
So we see almost a 3-time increase in a number of working qubits.
Yep.
but we still see the same number of qubit hours needed.
Right.
Why did that not also drop by at least even half?
Great question. Great question. So these columns on the chart are affected by two independent things, right? So the amount of working qubits is based on the people creating the computer. Now, the amount of hours we need is determined by mathematicians creating algorithms like Shor's algorithm and Grover's algorithm to cut down on the theoretical time that it would take to do something. So it's just finding optimizations, finding faster ways to do the math. It's cutting down on our qubit hours, and then finding better ways to make computers is increasing our current number of qubits that are working. And when those two numbers meet, like currently right now, we have the ability to break RSA 2048. It would just take 160 million hours divided by 1,180 qubits that we have working, and there's a chance it could be wrong because there's a lot of errors in quantum. Until 2024, when Google came out with a 105 qubit working computer that has error correcting. And so we get a new number. With error correcting, that takes our qubits needed down to 57.1 million. And that's big because once we learn how to keep increasing the number with error correcting, our qubit hours. Anyway, chart. Our gap is getting smaller. Pretty soon, if you could follow, especially, so in 2019, the gap was 3 million times. In 2021, the gap is 1 million times. And in 2025, it's not even a million. So it's only a matter of time before that number reaches 1, and we're going to be able to crack RSA 2048 in 1 hour. Now, the answer to this is called a lattice. It makes the math much harder. So a lattice is a combination of discrete points in space. So all these dots are discrete points. And it's made by things called a basis. So if you look at just the purple for now, we have a basis that goes up 1 and a basis that goes to the left, looks like it goes 2, right? With those two bases, at every possible way you could shape them, they form a pattern of dots. So what I can do is I can give you a basis that is different, say the red, and I could say, make any combination of those that's possible, and it'll give you the same exact pattern of dots. Believe it or not, to get the dots that you make with purple, if you do it with red, you also get the same pattern of dots. So what I can do is have a private basis, which is purple. Very simple for me to find a point. We're calling it P. And I can send out a public basis that is much more difficult to figure out because the angles are closer to each other. And that's called a bad basis. And it's technically possible to get the right answer, but it's a lot harder unless you know the purple. So you, as a sender, take my private basis and encrypt something, and then I can easily decrypt it with my purple basis or my private basis. And if you guys don't get that, that's fine. This is on a 2-dimensional plane, and it's kind of hard to understand. Quantum or cryptography that we're talking about does this not in 2 dimensions, not in 3 dimensions, but thousands of dimensions. So it's really, really hard, and it'll be
dimensions.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So this plane
What
is
do you
in
mean by that?
This plane is in 2 dimensions, right?
Okay.
You got the x-axis and the y-axis, right?
Yeah.
If you were to add a z-axis, it would be 3-dimensional, and you'd have more dots. You'd need a new basis for that, but you could have more dots.
I'm seeing it.
Okay. Now add a 4th one,
Mm.
and a 5th, and a 6th, and thousands of them. And I have to tell you, get to this point somehow, or approximate it. We can add noise to approximate it too. That's another thing. And you can only use the directions that I give you. And it's really, really difficult to do. So lattice-based encryption is the next step forward. Really, really hard. The experts say that it's impossible for a quantum computer to do it. But, I mean, until that gets proven wrong, right? But I am once again asking you to update your algorithms.
I am once again asking you to update your algorithms.
So here's where we get to a funny part. It's like we've seen encryptions die out
Yeah.
and get broken, even though they said it would never be broken.
Right.
At what point are we just going to make our systems agile so that we can easily swap out our encryption without breaking everything? Because companies don't do that right now. So NIST, Federal Information Protection Standards, these are U.S. national security standards. NIST is on top of the ball. They know what's going on. They release these standards. Anyone can start implementing these today, and you should, absolutely. And let's think of an example called DES. It was an encryption standard back in 1998. It was cracked, and it wasn't even replaced by anything until 2002. And it wasn't completely removed from a big company like Microsoft until 2018. So it could be cracked for a long time. And the point of this is to say that migration takes a long time, and the companies need to really take this seriously and get on the ball before it's too late, because it's already too late.
So when is Q Day? Experts say 5 to 10 years. We won't know when it happens. Migration is slow, so we need to start yesterday.
Yeah. And let's wrap up with you've already been compromised, right? If you send a secret message to someone and I capture that,
Right.
I can't read it now, but in 5 years, I can read everything I ever captured from you. You think your social security number is going to be important in 5 years?
No.
Well, yeah, okay. You think a government secret weapon is going to be important in 5 years to a nation state actor? Yeah.
Yeah.
You think the passwords to every major hospital's infrastructure is going to be important 5 years from now?
I would take it.
Yeah, because, are they really going to change everything? So the point is that everything you're doing right now is going to be leaked.
This also
in 5 to
reminds
10
me
years.
of the fact that maybe I shouldn't say this, but hospitals are like some of the most easily targeted places for just social engineering.
Yeah, everyone wants to help.
I don't want to say where, and I won't say where, but at a local hospital close by where we used to live, the head of the IT department was actually not so hip to anything new.
And that's super common, and that's why it's so scary, and people are not taking this seriously.
So yeah, guys, I mean, like, everywhere, places from small businesses to hospitals to banks,
Yeah, banks, big one.
prisons, even. Guys, this is bad. When people can gain access to a prison guard's or any sort of officer's personal information, that can then be used to turn around and threaten them, get favors on the inside, get people out.
And you just reminded me another point that could have been another bullet. This is going to break cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah.
This is going to break Bitcoin and drop it to zero. It breaks the blockchain.
The value will plummet.
It's going to be unusable because anyone can steal it. It breaks the blockchain.
Yeah. But what are some ways that we think we can mitigate this?
You can mitigate it by doing this right now. Read all about it. NIST is on top of it, and they have been since 2018.
Video. But it's man, dude. The way that I would think about it, Don, is why. I understand wanting to be the one for credit if you're a quantum engineer. I understand wanting to be the first one to break it if you're a company.
Oh, why are we breaking it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like,
because I mean, how many threat actors outside of nations are gonna have access to the funds and resources
Yeah, none.
to try to break this.
None. It's just nation states that want this pretty much. And we're not going to know when it happens because when it happens, that nation state is going to keep it a secret and spy on everybody else for as long as they possibly can until it gets leaked that they have this technology and other people figure it out. When any country, Russia, China, America, North Korea, Israel, like whatever country is investing in this, when they break, they're going to be able to see everything you do for a long time because they're not telling anyone that it happened.
This will lead to a lot of closed loop communications.
What do you mean?
So for example, with like security cameras, a lot of them are open loop,
Oh,
which
yeah,
means that
I
they can
got
be
you.
accessed remotely
Yeah.
or away from the camera.
Yeah.
Closed loop, the cable goes directly to whatever monitor or feeds that it's supposed to. And I think a point of just doing everything remotely will sort of cease. Even like remote work in the tech field,
Mm,
will cease. You gotta think about
that's kind of
that.
scary to think about too.
Um,
Yeah.
especially when we talk about customer support, where you might be giving out, some personal information over the phone, or sometimes companies will ask you to set up an appointment, and then they'll confirm, hey, what's this? What's your birthday? All this stuff is accessible, people. I mean, there is nothing to hide, and I hope you have nothing to hide. Uh, my guess, if you've been being a bad person on the internet, bro, you've been scamming people, doing whatever, um, trying to fucking visit dark web to look up credit cards, whatever, stop now. Stop now.
What?
You know what I mean? It's not gonna stop the fact that you already did it, but you can stop the fact that you can try to say, hey, look, I changed, I'm a different man. But let's be real, it's gonna be anarchy. If it comes down to this, ain't nobody besides the government's gonna have access to your stuff, and who knows how they're gonna use it. I mean, when there's no internet, there's no quick spread of information to show how badly groups of people are being treated in certain areas.
That's true too.
I mean, some of these places are gonna become ghost towns with no internet. Uh, some of these people, they only live out in the countryside because they have internet. They like it peaceful, but they like their entertainment too. You know?
I mean,
Uh,
maybe the internet breaks and maybe it's not such a bad thing. And
maybe it's not.
but humanity always finds a way to overcome it. It's just,
But think about how much business happens online.
well, if everyone updates to these lattice-based digital signatures and encryption, we're gonna be fine
They won't. I hate to say it, but like I feel like they won't.
until it's too late.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'd say maybe the biggest companies will be the earliest adopters. Amazon, like companies worth trillions,
Yeah.
obviously.
Well, companies
Um,
involved in any type of government standards are gonna have to follow NIST eventually because NIST is American standards that um, pretty much the government requires you to follow if you want to work with the government.
Yeah, it's because I know a lot of these companies also have like government contracts as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
But let's just keep moving. Let's keep moving for the audience.
No, that's it.
All right, so what can we do? What have me and Don done so we can help inform you guys today?
Just this. This is our closing statements. Is
No, I got it.
all right.
Guys, so honestly, what you want to do is, like I was saying earlier, be a better person.
Or fuck it. Everything's fucked anyway. They don't have enough police to arrest everyone on the internet.
No, you don't.
Like, or just like sell all your belongings and take a trip somewhere, or jump off a bridge.
I think every single modicum of where you can prove your identity online will cease. Huh?
What's a mod?
Every single medium.
Okay.
So like every single website, like your bank, your Navy Federals, your Wells Fargos, and then let's talk about where they're asking you to, hey, we need your social because you're trying to check your credit, or maybe it's your first time logging into one of the credit bureaus. They need your social to verify your identity for that. So a lot of these things, bro, it's gonna be fucked. I mean, is credit even gonna exist when anybody can now just log in and use your credit any way they want? You know, so it's like, and even if this never gets released to the public, I mean, my opinion is really that there's always going to be bad actors inside the government who are going to use this.
Yeah.
Um, and for how long we'll never know, guys. I mean, think about like with the first microprocessor, how long did they have that under wraps before it
Thir-
came to us?
30 years it was classified.
And I mean, that was with other people working and trying to work on microprocessors up to that point, thinking that they even had the first one. So maybe this is a lot further along than what we already know, which is probably the saddest part about this.
Yeah.
Is that information always
Yeah,
comes to us.
a Q day could be yesterday. It could have
Yeah.
already happened.
Oh yeah,
We
I
have
mean,
no way of knowing.
we could just be in a period of them gathering information,
I mean,
rather than acting on it.
That's exactly what they're doing right now. Everyone is harvesting information now to decrypt later when this technology comes out. That is already a fact.
You know the companies who are going to benefit the most from this already?
Who?
Data collectors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you guys don't know this, the way that a lot of companies make their money is through selling your information.
Do you think a lot of the reason data centers are popping up is not just because of AI, but also because they're storing so much information to decrypt later when they have the technology?
I think it's easier for Google to now sit there and give you a personalized feed because of how much you Google things every day. Let's say you ask random questions, but they're all related to like wildfires. You know, now when you go on YouTube, they're gonna start showing you, hey, join to be a firefighter ads. Or they might start showing you more weather. This information is used to market more shit to you. That's why it's valuable. Your habits and what you do online is more valuable to these companies than you just saying, hey, I just went and got a new Android. It don't matter. They got your fucking computer right there at home. You done searched up 20 times a day, every day for the past year. That's more than enough information. They don't need your money from buying that hardware when they can supplement it with just bulk selling information.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, we don't want to preach to you. We don't really want to go off on a little side tangent. Not getting cut out, though. This has been Don.
And I'm done.
We'll see you guys later. Nice. I really like that episode. Liked it better than mine.